You may be able to get 30 hours of free childcare a week through the Free Childcare for Working Parents scheme. Your child must be aged 9 months to 4 years old and you must live in England. There are different schemes in Scotland, different schemes in Wales, different schemes in Northern Ireland. The childcare must be provided by a registered provider, such as a registered nursery, play scheme or school. This is known as approved childcare. Who can get free childcare? To be eligible for free childcare for working parents, you and your partner, if you have one, need to both be in work or about to start a new job. Earn over a certain amount. You'll need a national insurance number to apply. You can use a calculator to check how much help you could get with childcare costs.
When to apply? You can apply for 30 hours of free childcare from when your child is 23 weeks old. Check the deadlines for applying. How to apply? To apply, you'll need to set up a childcare account. If your application is approved, you'll get an 11-digit code that proves you're eligible to get free childcare. You'll need to give this code to your childcare provider. If you already have a childcare account, you can sign into your account. Confirm your details are correct. To keep getting free childcare for working parents, you must confirm your details are up to date by signing into your childcare account every 3 months. Other help you may be able to get. As well as getting free childcare for working parents, you may be able to get either tax-free childcare, universal credit childcare, HM Revenue and Customs, HMRC, will check if you're eligible for tax-free childcare when you apply for free childcare for working parents. You cannot get both tax-free childcare and universal credit childcare at the same time. What you'll get: if your child is aged 9 months to 4 years old, you can get 30 hours of free childcare per week for 38 weeks of the year. You may be able to get free childcare for more than 38 weeks a year if you take fewer hours over more weeks. Check with your childcare provider to find out if this is something they offer. If your child is 2 to 3 years old and you get extra support, you can get 30 hours of free childcare through 2 separate schemes if both of the following apply. You're eligible for free childcare for working parents. You or your child get extra support. You'll get 15 hours per week. If you or your child get extra support, you'll continue to get these hours even if you are no longer eligible for free childcare for working parents. 15 hours per week through free childcare for working parents. You'll get these 30 hours for 38 weeks of the year. You may be able to get free childcare for more than 38 weeks a year if you take fewer hours over more weeks. To apply, you need to speak to the early years team or family information service at your local council. What counts as extra support? You're classed as getting extra support if any of the following apply. You get universal credit, and your household income is £15,400 a year or less after tax, not including benefit payments. Your child has an education and healthcare plan. Your child gets disability living allowance. Your child has left care under an adoption order, special guardianship order or a child arrangements order. Things you may be asked to pay for. Although the childcare is free, you may be asked to pay for some extras, such as meals, nappies, additional hours, additional activities, such as trips. You do not have to pay for these extras. If you do not want to pay for them, your provider should agree to an alternative arrangement. You can still get the free childcare if you do not pay for any extra costs. If your provider says you must pay for extras and will not agree to an alternative arrangement, speak to your local council. Check if you're eligible. The amount of free childcare you can get through free childcare for working parents depends on your child's age and circumstances, whether you're working, employed, self-employed, or a director, your income, and your partner's income. If you have 1. Your immigration status. You will not be eligible if either your child does not usually live with you or your partner have an expected adjusted net income of over £100,000 in the current tax year. Your child's age and circumstances. If your child is aged 9 months to 4 years old, you can get 30 hours per week of free childcare for 38 weeks of the year. If they're being fostered by you can claim free childcare for working parents as long as you're in paid work outside your fostering role. Your adjusted net income is under £100,000. You cannot use the online application to get free childcare. Speak to your social worker and your local authority if you want to apply. If you're working, you can usually get free childcare for working parents if you and your partner If you have one, are in work or starting a new job on sick leave or annual leave on shared parental, maternity, paternity or adoption leave. If you're not currently working, you may still be eligible if your partner is working and you are on carer's leave, or if you get any of the following: incapacity benefit, severe disablement allowance, carer's allowance, limited capability for work benefit, contribution based employment, and support allowance. Your income over the next 3 months, you and your partner, if you have one, must each expect to earn at least £2,539.68 before tax if you're aged 21 or over, equivalent to £195.36 per week, £2,080 before tax if you're aged 18 to 20, equivalent to £160 per week, £1,570.40 before tax if you're under 18 or an apprentice, equivalent to £120.80 per week. This is the national minimum wage or living wage for 16 hours a week on average. You can use an average of how much you expect to earn over the current tax year if you work throughout the year but do not get paid regularly, or self-employed and do not expect to earn enough in the next 3 months. Example: you're eligible if you're 21 or over and do not have a regular income but earn £10,158 a year. This is the same as earning £2,539 every 3 months on average. If you're self-employed and started your business less than 12 months ago, you can earn less and still be eligible for free childcare for working parents. If you have more than one job, you can use your total earnings to work out if you meet the threshold. This includes earnings from any employment, earnings from any self-employment. If you're both employed and self-employed, you can use just your self-employment income if this would make you eligible. Income that does not count toward your minimum earnings. Certain types of income will not count towards the minimum amount you must earn to be eligible. These include dividends, interest income from investing in property, pension payments. Your immigration status. You and your partner, if you have one, must have a national insurance number. The person who applies must also have at least one of the following: British or Irish citizenship, settled or pre-settled status, or you have applied and you're waiting for a decision, permission to access public funds. Your UK residence card will tell you if you cannot do this. If you are not eligible for free childcare for working parents, you may be able to get other help towards childcare costs. If your child is between 3 and 4 years old and you live in England, you can get 15 hours of free childcare a week for 38 weeks of the year. If you or your child get extra support, you may be eligible for free education and childcare. For 2-year-olds, when to apply. Find out when to apply for 30 hours of free childcare. Check with your childcare provider to find out the exact date your free childcare starts. When to apply for 30 hours of free childcare. You can apply from when your child is 23 weeks old. When you can get your hours from will depend on the date your child turns 9 months old. See the table below. When to apply if you're returning to work after maternity, paternity, shared parental or adoption leave. The date you return to work will affect when you can apply for free childcare. If you're on paid annual leave and receiving your salary, this counts as having returned to work. You can apply from when your child is 23 weeks old. When you can get your hours from will depend on the date your child turns 9 months old. See the table below. If you're on shared parental leave for the child you're applying for, you can apply if both parents have either returned or will be returning to work within 1 month of the start of the autumn, spring or summer term. This means both parents must have returned or be returning to work by the 30th of September for autumn term, the 31st of January for spring term, the 30th of April for summer term. When to apply if you start a new job. You can apply for free childcare if you're starting a new job. The date you start will affect when you can get free childcare. You can apply from when your child is 23 weeks old. When you can get your hours from will depend on the date your child turns 9 months old. If you apply more than 31 days before you start your new job, you need to contact the Child Care Service helpline for help with your application. See the table below. Apply for free childcare. Use this service to apply for free childcare for working parents if you live in England. If your child is 2 to 3 years old and you get extra support, you need to contact your local council before applying for free childcare for working parents. Speak to the Early Years Team or Family Information Service. If your application is approved, you'll get an 11-digit code. That proves you're eligible to get free childcare. You'll need to give this code to your childcare provider. HM Revenue and Customs, HMRC, will check if you're also eligible for tax-free childcare when you apply for free childcare for working parents. If you already have a childcare account, you can sign in to confirm your details are up to date. What you need to apply. You'll need your and your partner's, if you have one, national insurance number, unique taxpayer reference, UTR, if you're self-employed. If you have a UTR, you'll also need the UK birth certificate reference number, if you have one, of any children you're applying for the date you started or are due to start work. This can be approximate if it's more than 3 months ago. If you're a director, you'll need to show you meet the minimum income requirements to be eligible. HM Revenue and Customs, HMRC, will try to check this using your pay records. If you do not submit regular pay information, you may have to provide evidence to show you are working and expect to meet the minimum income requirements for the next 3 months. This could be wage slips, bank statements, a statement from your accountant, copies of invoices. If you're not paid regularly, for example, once a year, you may need to send other evidence to show you'll meet the minimum income requirements, such as annual wage slips, year-end payroll, a letter from your tax agent or advisor confirming your salary has been paid and taxed. You'll need to do this the first time you apply, and every time you reconfirm your eligibility. If you have a partner, you must include your partner in your application if you're married or in a civil partnership and live together, not married or in a civil partnership, but living together as though you are. Their employment and income will not affect your eligibility if they are or will be absent from your household for more than 6 months or a prisoner. You and your partner cannot both have a code for the same child. If you are separated, you and your ex-partner need to decide who should apply if you are jointly responsible for your child. If you cannot decide, both of you must apply separately, and HM Revenue and Customs, HMRC, will decide who gets a childcare code. Apply. To apply, you'll need to set up a childcare account. It usually takes 20 minutes to apply. You need government gateway ID and password to start. If you don't have one, you can easily create. Once you're done, it will direct you to new page. Start with app. Where do you live? Are you UK, Irish, OREEA national? Then, provide email address and phone number that can be contacted. Do you have a partner? Enter partner details, such as name, date of birth, national insurance number. Do your partner live at same address? Next is child details. Name, date of birth. What is the relationship with you? Does this child normally lives with you? Does the child normally with you? Yes or no? Is this child getting or expecting to get any support, like disability support? If so, click the appropriate box if applicable to you. Next is child benefit. If you or partner claiming child benefit, yes or no? Continental to go for next steps. Enter the details of current childcare support such as childcare bursary or grants. Universal credits. Childcare vouchers. Next now is the employment status of first parent. Are you on any type of paid leave like sick leave? If so, you have to enter here. Start date of paid employment now is the partner employment status, start date of paid employment. After that, the partner is taking any paid leave or not. Once you done is the salary details. Will you early at least £195.35 in every week for next 3 months before tax? Will your partner early at least £195.35 in every week for next 3 months before tax? Now, do you expect to have a taxable income of more than 100,000 for the current tax year? Now, do your partner expect to have a taxable income of more than 100,000 for the current tax year? Now create password. That's it. Once it processed, you will get mail from government.uk and you can log in back the childcare account to see the childcare code. This code you have to give childcare provider while applying the application for childcare. Make sure you renew the code in every 3 months. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe us.